Hello friends, so we're making dog food. Now what I'll do while I'm making this is because I'm just to the ending point, and I thought, you know what, maybe I better share this on the vlog today. Okay, so this is one serving in here. I don't know if I can fit the last half cup in here. Oh yeah, I can. And get the lid on it. But this is going to be one serving for Bella. And then this will be another serving. So this is a little half cup that I have. And I'm just going to fill up as many containers as I can. And then everything's going to go in the freezer. The extreme cold forced an animal underneath my house. We can't have that. I spent too much money when I moved this house in on the underbelly because of animal damage. So now, what did you do?
I was just holding that while I was taking this. Ready?
Cat in there. Go get the cat. Find it. Find it. Where is it? Get that cat. There's a cat in there. So we've got some car parts we need to sell. And at least get them listed. I'm going to start with Facebook Marketplace and see what we can come up with. So if you've been one of my friends around here for the last 3.5, almost 4 years, you know that I actually started this channel as a detailing channel. Well, the detailing kind of come to an end. I still do a little bit here and there for my dad. But in the meantime, last year into this year, I did add my daughter and my family, invited them to be a part of my channel. And so we've kind of switched things towards more family content, more vlog style, just kind of taking you with us throughout our day. We've got lots of plans for the new year, 2026. We want to kind of show you around where we live, where we're from. And we're actually looking at branching out away from where we're from too. So if you would love to be a member of our channel, you can do so and just join us for $1 a month. And there's higher tiers if you're interested in those. Or if you don't want to be a member, that's okay. We're okay with that. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button, and then obviously you want to hit that notification bell and set it to all. That way you don't miss anything. Anyway, back to the video. So, now that we got all the personal stuff out of the way, let's talk about the one thing that everybody says to me when they find out I am from Kansas. It gets old, but it's actually very humorous. So, let's talk about tornadoes. Now, this is going to be a short little story about a tornado that went through Andover, Kansas. And it happened on April 29th, 2022. However, we were not all that unfamiliar with tornadoes in Andover and South Wichita because it happened in the past as well. In fact, the track of this particular tornado took almost the exact same path. In fact, it did take the exact same path, only it was about 1/4 mile to the east. April 29th, 2022, a tornado formed just to the south of me, and I was like, oh crap. Anyway, it was not on the ground, it was only the wall cloud, and it moved to the north and east from here. It did not touch down until it got past McConnell, And then once it hit the ground, it was just bouncing along, but that tornado was super, super tight. Now, I'll do another video at some point on the big tornado in 1991. But let's take a look at the story of the Andover tornado 2022. And this is what came from that wall cloud. That wall cloud you just saw was my video. I was recording it from my porch. It was just under a mile to the south of me. It continued on to the east-northeast, and it did not touch down until it got to the east side of McConnell Air Force Base. It was April 29th, 2022. The tornado touched down at 8:10 p.m., as I said, on the east side of McConnell. It was rated an EF3. Its peak winds were 155 miles per hour. It was on the ground for 21 minutes and a total of 12.9 miles. Over 1,000 structures were hit, including the Andover YMCA. There were 0 fatalities and only 6 injuries, thankfully, and they were pretty minor. One person that took a hit was our local meteorologist for KSN TV, Ronnell Williams. He's pretty popular around here.
We were watching that storm. We could see the rotation on our sky view from Wichita State University, and then the tornado hit. And one of those persons, people that was affected by that tornado, was meteorologist Ronnell Williams. And Ronnell, we're so glad that you're okay, man. We're so glad. We had no idea that you were being impacted by this tornado until we all received the text from you that said, I got hit.
Yeah, and I mentioned you go outside and you see debris all over the place. You don't know exactly what happened. You see the classic cone structure on the tornado, and coming out here, even though I was impacted, definitely not to the degree of what's around us, what's what we're looking at. So first and foremost, I was still able to sleep in my own bed last night, which I know a lot of people out here obviously weren't able to do. So that's a blessing alone.
This tornado was considered quote-unquote dry. The storm had already passed through. What happened is the backflow of the air created a tiny, tiny little storm from the backflow, and that is where the tornado came from, on the backside of the storm. So it was actually rather remarkable how it took place. As usual, the Andover community came out for each other, and so did the Wichita community. We all went to them as well, offered any help that we could, first responders, and so on and so forth. But I do want to say, a lot of people say they could never do tornadoes. We have such a superb warning system. You can tell us a storm is coming and brewing for 8 days from now, and they will keep on it. And we can at least get away from a tornado that's not going to last more than a few minutes in our particular area. We just have to know where to go for shelter or how to get away from it in situations like my own. I live in a mobile home. I could go to the shelter, but I always choose to just get the hell out of here and drive the opposite way. So if it's coming from the northwest, I know to drive west and south. Living here in Kansas, we know the sky can change in an instant. This footage and recap is a reminder that we don't just live in Tornado Alley. We live in a community that knows how to look out for one another when the siren stops. Kansas never fails to amaze. When the storm is over, the sun will shine again right behind it.